for the verbs, for the block, for the pure props. Do it every day, I work hard at the first shot. I don't really give a damn what the purse got. Do it for the game, for the name is the first thought. You ain't experienced a similar hustle. I simply muscle into infamy with intricate tunnels. I work the underground like miners, but I major the muzzle to shut them up, shut them down, then I give them a shuttle, okay? See, this is every day of using heavyweight in music, educating through it. Even legends thank me to its motivation. That's why there's no delay and no vacations. I don't need another reason. I'ma lead, I'm going ape shit. Oh, delay, kid. Moment goes to waste if no one takes it. But it's hard to be a pro when y'all in training mode to make it. I'll note the notifications and make the most of my greatness for the culture in the place I call home if no one thinks it.
I step in the spot and the bitches show me love. I do it for the block, do it for the club. Fuck your ice grill, foolish with the mug. Dirt off my shoulder, I do it with a shrug. Brush them off so easy, cakewalk. Cats be catching rounds when I be letting strays off. Big deals, your stash small like Adolf. We don't let you pussy slide, pink slip, laid off. Hey dog, listen up when I'm speaking. Swinging through your town, but it's just for the weekend. You punch drunk, and we don't fuck with you weaklings. In over your head, now you stuck in the deep end. We bet better than your best bet. Stack chips, bigger than your next check. Duck hunt, I kill your birds. Deathbed, run up in your crib, cracking all your fucking nest eggs.
We do it for the block, we do it for the love. We just don't stop, we do it for the game. We do it for the props, we do it every day and it just don't stop. We do it for the birds, we do it for the block. We do it for the love, we just don't stop. We do it for the game.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to my stream. Today, I am joined by the lovely SesameShibe23, aka Kelsey. What's going on?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. Ready to talk some gaming, as always. So, as everyone knows, and I've been sharing, yesterday I did jump on with King Jucifer. I love his name, King Jucifer. And we started talking about Summer Game Fest because this past weekend was the Summer Game Fest. It's still kind of going on. Like, they still consider it like the full week of Summer Game Fest because anything that drops, they'll always be like, oh, this is in the Summer Game Fest. But the Summer Game Fest is over technically. But but a part of that, they did a bunch of different showcases and directs. And one that they do every year is Wholesome Gaming. So the Wholesome Direct. So today, me and Kelsey are going to go over that because a lot of those games are right down our alley, which every game is right down our alley technically, isn't it? Kind of, somewhat.
I mean, yeah, they all have their charms.
Yeah. So today we're going to go over a bunch of games. We're going to talk mainly about just the presentation as a whole at the end and kind of give our overall thoughts and views. Yesterday, we didn't get to do that because we didn't get through the entire presentation. We got through maybe 25%, but that's what happens when you put me and Josh in a room together. Just nothing ever gets done. So, but
I'll keep you in line this time.
there we go. I like it. Someone's got to keep the hands on the reins. So, but what we're going to try to do is, originally my idea was to have the presentation on at the same time. But instead, how we're going to cover it is, me and Kelsey are going to go through the games that we spotted and that we seen that we really liked and that we wanted to, recognize, saying like, hey, we would love for this to be a part of my gaming library. And then what we'll do is we'll go through the complete list. This complete list you can find. I want to say that they said the website was just Wholesome Gaming.
It's wholesomegames.com.
Games.com. That's what I thought. So wholesomegames.com. And you'll be able to see the entire library list of the games that were shown. I have to say, and we've been doing this for a little bit, and I've been doing it for a long time, but just from me and you doing this together with PAX, this website is already leagues ahead of what.
It's very organized. There's images for everything. There are links to everything. It's great.
And what's funny, the thing I love about this site is it's not the fanciest website of all times, but it gets the job done, and that's what I love. Like it's clean, it's simple, and that's what more websites need to be like, for crying out loud, especially when it comes to gaming and when it comes to presenting something like this. Usually I have to go to, I use an app called GG, which GG, you can put your collection of games in there and you can separate them in categories like games I want to play. And they literally have every game that ever existed in this library. And typically what people will do is after these directs and things, they'll be like the Wholesome Direct and they'll put every game that was in the direct in there. But again, it's just some Joe Schmo like myself that's just like, hey, I'll do this for the people because I want it. So I know someone else wants it. But this is Wholesome
Well,
Games
this
doing
is
it.
the fifth year, so they've, gotten their shit together by now.
And their direct too is so clean. Like their
Yeah,
direct is
it is
so
really clean.
so
Very well
clean.
produced.
Yep. And think everyone's doing what we're doing and is just doing it from home. Now, let's say we've had 5 years of practice for this by now. So I would say, I would hope they could get it, but you'd be surprised. There are still some industry people that just don't understand, hey, have a decent camera. Hey, have a decent mic. It doesn't have to be an Elgato, XLR mic or anything like that. You can have headset mic. That sounds just as good. And they did that. We're going to talk a little bit more about the mic game and later on in the show because there's some
Okay.
things that we
Yeah.
need to talk
I
about.
have some thoughts.
Yeah. There's some things that didn't need to happen, but again, I'd like to go back and look at those because they did content creators that introduced all the games, which
Yeah.
I thought perfect. Like that's such an amazing thing to do. It really helps the community out, and it gets them some shine. But the issue with that is when you bring a content creator over, they have to stick to their stick and whatever their deal is. And some of them have weird deals. So it's not my cup of tea, but it's somebody's cup of tea. So that's all that matters. So,
Somebody likes it. Ask for every chair.
yeah. So let's jump right into this because we got a good list and it's kind of later in the night for us. So, we're all responsible adults, so I guess we'll kind of go through this pretty quickly. So, so we're gonna go through your list of games first. So
Okay.
I'll let you do it. As you're talking about the game, I'm just gonna press play and just
Yep.
I'm gonna keep letting it play over and over and over again. So, with saying that, please just if you're done with this game and you want to move on to the next, just feel free to control the flow any way you like. So.
Yeah, so a lot of the games actually weren't like new for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
I think other Wholesome Directs, they did have like a lot of like, oh, I've never seen that before.
Mhm.
So this game is Story of Seasons Grand Bazaar, which we got to demo at
Mhm.
PAX.
Hold on.
So
Keep
it's
talking because I got something to share. So keep talking.
okay. It's the latest game in the Story of Seasons franchise, but it's actually based on a handheld version of the game. But they've added new characters, new storylines. The whole thing is like voice acted. Um, and yeah, I really like the mechanics of the bazaar, which is what I got to try at PAX. And you get to like sell your wares like every week instead of it just being like you put your stuff into a box and it sells overnight. So kind of cool. I like that mechanic. They also have very important, they have animals in the game that you
Mhm.
can have. You can also have a Shiba, which I got to see in the game. You can also hold the Shiba like a little baby, which is adorable.
Mhm.
Um, and yeah, it's coming August 27th.
Oh, this is not showing up as a regular item. So for some reason, I don't know why it doesn't think it's a regular image, even though it is a JPEG. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to do a display capture. And, no, not that. Not that. Oh, wait, hold on. Is that it? Uh, yep, that's it.
Yep. So you can hold the Shiba like a baby. The picture I took at PAX.
Yep. So this is your actual in-game picture that you took
Yep.
while you were playing, and you were sitting there holding the little baby.
Oh, bye bye.
Yeah, yeah. So
So very important in a game to be able to do that.
pretty cool, pretty cool. So, so watching you play this game, I was very, very excited. It is what's the game that I'm thinking of for Nintendo Switch? Animal Crossing on
Oh,
steroids. Animal Crossing, but I mean, obviously, Harvest Moon, because
yeah.
this is a part of the Harvest Moon series, right?
Yes and no. So basically, the creators of Harvest Moon separated and
Mhm.
created the Story of Seasons franchise. And Harvest Moon, I think, still maybe doing things, but with different people.
All right, so it's
Um,
it's not Harvest
but
Moon, it's just their crew.
yeah,
Okay, all right, cool. Yeah, so it's not it might not be a part of their universe, but the people that designed it. So that's why there's a lot of similarities in the
yeah,
style of the game. But one of the big things that I immediately loved, as soon as is the store.
yeah.
This to me, this has got to be a huge feature for them. I mean, because now look at it's all over the
It's
trailer.
called Grand Bazaar, so it is all about the bazaar.
So what is I'm sorry, I don't know what a bazaar. Like I've
A
heard the
bazaar is like an open air market.
okay, all right, gotcha,
So
gotcha, gotcha,
yes,
gotcha.
it's all about the
Okay,
bazaar.
so that makes sense. So then it fits, and that's why it's such a big feature in the game, and it's so cool. So that makes perfect sense. No, I loved that part of it because of how they did it. And I became such a backseat gamer. Luckily, you had headphones on, you couldn't hear me because otherwise, that probably would have been driving you crazy. But I was trying to be like, ooh, 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 this person's asked for this. You got to put this out. You got to put this out. You know what I mean? But it got me so into it and made me want to play.
Yeah,
And I do like games like this because it's such a laid back, easygoing game. So it's like if you want to play a game that actually takes some creativity, but at the same time there's no struggle, and this is the way to go. It's just like all those other somewhat farming simulate kind of like
yeah,
games where it's just like just have a good time. Just come on, have a good time, unlock some things, meet some people, fall in love. You know what I mean? Like stuff like that is always fun to throw out there in a game, and I'm always interested in that. But what really gets me immediately from the beginning is the animation. It's just the animation so well done, and
yeah,
I love the Nintendo style, and I call it Nintendo style because Nintendo's been doing it for so long, and they're just so good at it. Um, where you have this cartoon style, but they found a way to make it adultish, and it's been this way for years, and they're just so good at it. So just everyone takes that type of style. And obviously, it wasn't Nintendo; it's Nintendo working with third parties. A lot of the third
yeah,
parties are the ones, and Harvest Moon is one of the originators of this style. So that's why
yeah.
this is such a big deal. So good one. That was on my list too. That one's on my list too. So you ready for the next one?
Yeah.
All right, let's go.
So
I
this
did it right
one
in order on your list that you sent me.
oh, okay,
So
perfect,
yep, yep,
perfect,
yep,
perfect.
yep.
So this one's an expansion to a game that came out last year, which has been on my wish list, and I haven't gotten around to buying it yet, but it's called Little Kitty Big City, and the whole time in the original, you're playing as this black cat. And Black Cat's really cute, and he's running around causing mischief. He has little hats and stuff. Um, but then in this expansion, you get to go into different areas of the city, meet new cats. And I think this is actually maybe the Little Kitty Big City trailer and not the expansion trailer. Because
Yeah,
in
yeah.
the
No, this is just Little Kitty Big City. So what
okay,
what was the name of the expansion?
expansion.
Expansion?
Because it's not a paid expansion, it's just a free expansion.
So that's the all right,
Free
all right, all
Little
right.
Kitty
Maybe,
trailer. There you go.
but
Okay.
it's the same trailer, no?
No, it's not. It's
No?
totally different.
It
Okay.
starts off the same.
It starts the same.
Yeah, yeah.
So you get to personalize your kitty
Mm.
so you can make them look not like the black cat.
Mhm.
Make them look any way you want, and yeah, there are new areas of the city to explore. But this game just looks really cute.
Yeah. Not for me. I don't catch myself spending money on it, but if it was a free game and I had it available, I can't say, excuse me, I'm sorry. I can't say that I would, dedicate a whole lot of time to it. Sorry, my puppy just came in and looked at me. I went to put my hands out to pick her up, and she was just like, "No, that's not what I wanted." Just walked away from me. So I thought she wanted to be a part of it, but she just wanted to hurt my feelings. Um, I'm just not into the cat games. There's a lot out there. Stray was one that I really want to play
Yep.
because it had like a cyberpunk
Stray was
theme.
good, yeah.
You know what I mean? But I wasn't gonna try to buy it. Like it's not that type of game for me. But the game style does interest me, and I'm glad that they do make games like this because there are some people that just absolutely love animals and to be a cat, and I think this is
Yeah,
really
it's
cool.
more of like an adventure exploration kind of game, but
Yeah. So I think that's really, really cool that they did it and I appreciate it. Like I love seeing games like this. I wouldn't invest into it, but I would jump in and try it out. You know what I mean? And
yeah.
I may love it and there might be one be like, okay, cool, that was fun. I don't want to ever do that again, but that was fun. So I think it's pretty cool. Pretty cool. It
Yeah,
looks
and I
it
just like
looks
how,
great.
they're doing a free update because that's just so rare.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it depends, especially with the smaller studios. You do see it with the small studios more often. But at the same time, like they can't afford to do it. So it's
Mhm.
just like it's one of those things like when they do it, it does hurt them because they are paying their team to do these updates. So it's just like something's got to come back. It's such a we'll have a conversation about that at some other time, but that would be a good conversation to throw you in on because I'd love to see your opinion on that. So you want to move to the next one?
Yeah,
All right, Haunted Paws is the next one.
Haunted Paws looks super cute. It's a
Are we having a
co
trend here? Is there a trend building here?
what of cute? Yeah, that's the whole direct. That's how that works. But this one's it's got a little bit of like horror mystery in it,
Mhm,
so it's a little bit darker. It's kind of like creepy cute.
mhm,
Um, so it's a co-op game where you're two dogs and you're trying to find your owner.
mhm,
Um, so it's like you're going around trying to like solve the mystery of where your owner went through this like horror landscape. This one doesn't have a date, so it's kind of
Oh, there
a
was no
surprise
date
at
there
some
was no
point.
date for that release?
No,
Okay.
and they better have a Shiba. They don't explicitly show one, but they do show that you can change the breed of the dogs,
Mhm. I
and they
didn't
better have
see is that a husky? Are they considering
a
that a
husky.
husky?
Yeah.
Yeah, they are considered it, so I'll get it. I did have this game on my list. I thought what I liked really about it was the multiplayer. I thought that was pretty cool. And just the idea of using being a dog to be kind of like a haunted detective. Like you've never
Yeah.
seen that type of style thing. So I found that to be very, very interesting. So and I thought it looked cool. I thought it looked
Yeah.
fun. I like games that sometimes there's not a whole lot going on, but enough to keep you busy playing the game, but like it's just a very slow paced game. I don't mind that. I need direction. Like open world sandbox games, I do really bad with because it's just with my ADHD, it's just too much going on that I'm just like, I don't know what to do. So now I'm just not going to play. There's
Yeah.
too much to do, so I'm just not gonna play it, that kind of sucks. But this, it's obviously a direction. I love that marking territory. You get trophies for peeing on fire hydrants. Like, sure, thank you. Sure. Was there anything else about
Nope,
that
that was it for that
that
one.
game? Okay, all right, cool. Next one is All Will Rise.
All Will Rise is one of the ones that I hadn't heard of before. It's like they describe it as a narrative deck builder.
Mm-hmm.
So your deck is like uh conversation points
Mm-hmm.
and like argument points, which just sounded really cool. The art style is really interesting. Um, it just looks very unique. And I'm excited for this one. There's no release date yet, but on the horizon. So hopefully, I would say probably sometime 2026.
The art I think looks amazing. I love the art style. Very creative, very unique. I like that it's a different spin, like it's taking it through different culture and stuff like that. So I think that's really, really, really cool. Um, I'm just not a huge I have issues with deck building games for the same reason that I hate open world and sandbox games. When you give me the ability to build my own decks, I wanna know what the best is, but then again, I don't wanna build what everyone else has built. So, it's such a shitty way, and I get stuck in such a, like, a bind where it's like, I don't wanna do what everyone else is doing, but I wanna have the best deck, and how can you do that without seeing what everyone else is doing? So, I wanna build my own deck, but there's a million, like, thousands of different combinations of what you can do, and that bothers me. So again, this is I'm not saying this is exactly like that, but this is like giving me a whole lot of options. Good enough for me to try.
Yeah.
Um, and I know that sounds weird considering the amount of Marvel Snap that I play, but the reason why Marvel Snap worked was because they limit you to how many cards you have right from the beginning. So that was good. So was forced to do that. And then with me being such a Marvel fan, I already knew kind of what I was looking for. And based off of how the cards reacted, that's when I was able to be like, okay, cool. And then that's when I went with the Death deck, and now I'm just an unstoppable force. So, I just do what I got to do. But
Okay. Anyway,
but
next game.
but typically games like that is tough for me to play because of my ADHD, but it caught my interest because it was a different the way that it was so unique on how you do the leveling up on it. So I'm curious to play it and kind of go through and be like, huh, how do you play this game? Now that game you said that game didn't have a release date, or did that one have
No.
no, that one didn't have a release date either. So a lot of these games and a couple people bitched about it, and the people that were bitching about it, I laugh because I'm like, you are not into watching directs then, are you? Um, a lot of people's complaints was like, oh, there was so many games that wasn't coming out until 2026. That is fantastic. Like, you want the games to come out in 2026. Right now, 2025 is already packed. So you're not gonna
Yeah.
get, stuff on these things that are specifically coming out this year. Like, that's too small of a window. It's gotta
Yeah, I mean,
be
if you got Rune Factory, you're done until December anyway. So,
yeah,
like, what do you care?
yeah, you know what I mean? So, usually it's like 2027. It's usually a 2-year window. So, our windows are getting better. So, if anything, from this entire weekend, I applaud because everything was in 2026.
I'm
And
just glad that a lot more of them were a date and not a here's the date for early access. There
yes.
were some early access ones, but it wasn't like all of them.
Yep. And early access too, you don't even get that a whole lot. Well, didn't used to get it a whole lot. It's becoming a little bit more frequent now. And the demos thing is
It's
becoming more
all the
frequent.
time. Early access is like a lot of things.
Yeah. So
Which actually, this game that we're about to talk about now is
early
opening
out.
up for early access on July 24th.
Yeah. I'm gonna hit play. So feel free.
This one I've been excited for a long time.
You know what this
It's
reminds me of, right? Just by the art
Studio
style.
Ghibli and Treasure Planet, because that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. By the
Yeah,
art style.
it's Studio Ghibli art style, very like Treasure Planet-y looking, where you're doing like
This
a
little guy,
galactic.
I don't need anything else but this little guy.
He's so cute.
That little guy, come on.
Look at him. He's
That's
adorable.
it. That's
I know.
all I
All
need. I
the
don't need anyone
characters are
else.
so cute.
He's a sensei. I know you, and you know he's gonna be a master. So that's so funny.
And this one actually has a demo out now for Steam Next Fest.
Nice.
So you can come watch me stream it sometime in the next week.
Yay. Yay.
Um, but yeah, this one I've just been waiting for the release date. I probably won't get it in July just because I'm very tired of early access games. So I will probably wait until full release.
Yep. Yep. Nice. Nice. Yeah. I'm not a big fan of early access games all the time. I'd rather wait because I don't want to be limited or deal with the bugs either. So,
Yeah, and some
but
games it's like you do early access, and then by the time the game comes out, you're like, well, I'll
I'm
just
burnt
start
out.
over.
Yeah,
Or just start over, and it's like if you start over, then it's like, well,
I'm doing it
you just
again.
waited.
Yeah,
Plenty of
doing
other games to play.
But this game looks good. A big thing for me is definitely the artwork. Artworks in video games is huge to me because I don't want the same thing to look the same all the time because otherwise I'm just playing the same game. So I love the variety. It's got the cell shaded style to it as well. Which I'm seeing a lot more games get away with it. I feel like they mastered the cell shade to make it where they can use it on almost any style of video game, no matter what the art style is. And for some reason, it just makes it better.
Yeah.
And this is coming from someone that hates fucking Wind Waker, refuses to play Wind Waker because of the artistic style they chose for it. Just so frustrated with it. But I promised Brittany Arbacca from What's Good Games that I would play it. So at some point in time in my
And
life,
you still haven't.
I got to play it. So yeah, I know. We won't talk about that. So next,
Next up,
a tiny wanderer. Is it wander?
Wander, like a
Yeah.
tiny wander.
Yep. Oop.
Which
Sorry.
actually, so I was reading it more into this game, and it's based on a book,
Hmm.
Okashi na Tatemono Tabuki.
Hmm.
Um, search the name, can't find it anywhere. So if anyone has any leads on where to actually find this book, or how to find it, in English, I would love to read the book because that's what it's based on.
Hmm.
But it looks really cute. This was one of the ones in like the kind of like the Fast and Furious games that they had at the end.
Hmm.
Um, but I don't know, just something about the art style really has me excited for this one.
Um, the art style looks really cool. But it just seems too like high school programming for me. And that's fine, and that's cool. I think there's some games that require that type of style. It's just not for me. Again, a game that does any I would pick up any game and play it once. Any game to give it a shot to see. But this isn't one that like I would go and look for. So, I noticed it's not in English. The subtitles it wasn't English.
It's all in Japanese. It's all based on a Japanese book. So,
So the whole thing is in Japanese.
I mean, for now.
Okay, so hopefully they translate that. That would be an odd
Well,
game to play.
it doesn't have a release date, but it says 2026. So it
Yeah,
could be
so they got some work.
Q4 2026.
I'm sure the game has got to be fun, in the sense of it's got to bring some uniqueness to it because I've been reading up a little bit as far as like reviews, like people, and they were just like very excited about it coming up. So not reviews, but people kind of like in the chat forums. All right, and this is
You skipped one.
your last game.
No, you skipped one. Anxiety Puppy.
Oh, oh, I just
Yeah, that's this one.
okay, yep. So I'll hit play.
Um, so Anxiety Puppy is a hand-drawn visual novel about anxiety, which sounds interesting.
Hmm.
I like visual novels that delve into dark things, and this one just seems like a really interesting narrative.
Hmm. Um,
And the art's gorgeous.
yeah, the art's amazing. It definitely caught my curiosity. I didn't put it on my list. But it's at this point I had so many games on my list, so I was kind of trying to figure out how to cut it down. But the game definitely uh is different. And with me with different, I'm always down to try different. I don't I can't say that I don't think this is my cup of tea. I just don't really know super what the motive of the game is. Like not the motive, but like the mechanics of the game. So I'd be very curious to be like, okay, what am I
Yeah.
doing? Um, and I love that. That always piques my interest because we don't get that as much nowadays with gaming because I mean, how long have we been doing this for? So, um, I've
Yeah, it
seen
looks unique.
yeah, I've seen a lot of different styles. So to see this, I'm very curious on how it plays. So, all right, right. Now the last one on your list. A week in the life
Yeah.
of an what is it? An
An
asocial.
asocial giraffe.
Yeah. So,
So it's like a stealth game,
mhm.
but instead of trying to avoid like guards or something, you're just trying to avoid people and conversations, which oh, just relate with so much. So I love the concept. I love the art style. I think it's adorable.
Mhm.
Yeah, really excited to see this one a little bit more.
So the first thing I absolutely love is they chose to pick a giraffe, which is the hardest character to possibly ever, other than an elephant, to be asocial.
Yep.
So obviously they I hope they were smart enough to do that on purpose. Because it seems like something that they would do on purpose. But it looks really, really fun. It looks really, really fun, really, really cute. If you like stealth games, I would highly suggest trying this game at least, even if you're not into cute games, because um, it seems like this is going to be a very hard stealth game. So I'd be very interested to. Me, I only go stealth because I don't want to use missile. I'll use all my bullets, and I'm
Yeah.
like, especially like something like Last of Us, ammunition is very rare. So it's just like, damn it. So all I'm doing is stealthing. I hate stealthing. I hate it so much. And this is coming from someone that loves Metal Gear. But I'm very interested in checking this because you can
Mm.
tell it looks like he builds up his anxiety as situations go
Yep.
on and you physically see it. So I'd be very interested to see that. So, um, pretty good list there. Pretty good list.
And I mean, those are only like my top ones.
Yep.
Definitely had a lot more I was interested in.
Well, let me see. We'll go through what I have here for a list and then see how much time we have. And then if we have enough time, then let's throw up some of those other ones. So all right. So I pick I can't pronounce the phrase. Is it
Gordlet.
Gordlets together?
Yeah.
And I liked it because it reminded me of what do you call it? I almost said Lethal Company, Fields of Mystria, in the sense of like the animation and the graphics and the design of it. But it's so open world. And if anyone's watched Black Mirror, the newest season of Black Mirrors, there's an episode that looks like some of these characters, and it's absolutely
No
hilarious.
spoilers.
What's up?
Haven't seen it yet. No spoilers.
No, 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 no. It's no, no, no. I'm not giving out anything. And one of the episodes deals with a game, and it has these like characters, and it kind of the characters similar to that. So it makes me laugh so much because it makes me think of that. But I thought this game looked really, really cool, and I'm really interested to try it because as simple as the game looks, they were talking about it, and there's a lot you can do in this game. Like there's
Well,
a ton you can
if
do.
you're interested, I mean, and you don't want to wait, Gordlets, the original,
Hmm.
is already out.
Hmm.
So this is Gordlets Together, which introduces like multiplayer aspects.
Right. I was just
So
gonna
it's
say that.
currently out and it's on sale for $3.99.
Yep. So Gauntlets, so the game did so well that one of the biggest requests is, hey, make it online, make it online. So they end up making it online. They made it multiplayer, and now this is what you got. So pretty cool. Pretty cool. All right. Anything specific you wanted to talk about that and how you felt about that, or
Yeah.
okay. Next one is Loomer Island. Um Obviously, I love the Animal Crossing. I just thought it was super, super limited. So I continuously try to look for a game that's very similar to Animal Crossing in the far as like the graphics. I think Animal Crossing's graphics was fantastic. And then but it's just so limited on what you can do. So this is not Animal Crossing, I know, but it's that type of style world, and the graphics look so good, and the camera control looks insane. Like, that's one of the things that I was paying attention to as they were walking around. Like, they were rotating the camera, and just look at the details of everything. But the world looks like it has the potential to be so big because of how the terrain is, where you go from rough terrain to smooth terrain. Like, the terrain's all over the place. So that lets me know, like, hey, I'm wondering if they allow a lot. It looks like they have like a fast forward mode where you can fast forward it. Just games like this is just I've always liked, because again, it's a mellow game, it's a relaxing game, and you can do whatever you want. Like, okay, cool. Again, my ADHD gives me problems sometimes, because there's sometimes I want missions to do and whatnot. And some of these games sometimes offer that. Like, they'll offer you, like, hey, do this mission and do that. And I love that even more. Like, I need that in these type of games. But sometimes I don't mind having this game. And I may fall off after, 3-4 months or whatever, but I will be in this game hardcore until I hit that wall. So this game definitely, caught my interest.
Well, this game had been out for early access for a while, and it came out in November, full release.
Mhm.
And now they're promoting like an expansion, a free expansion that's coming out.
Gotcha.
So, if it's something that you're interested in, hopefully they'll continue to have content updates.
Yep. Yep. So cool. All right, let's go.
But I don't know, something about the art style in that one just doesn't do it for me.
Yeah. I can understand that. It caught my attention. It wasn't as detailed as I like it, but I thought it was pretty cool. This next one is Make Room. I love this because of the fact of it takes what a lot of people are doing, what became popular now, and it's like the home on wheels kind of aspect, and it lets you mess with that. But it's not just that, it's like any room. It doesn't matter. And you know, I'd imagine, like, hey, craft all this stuff, but then it's just like they'll give you a score based off how much room you're using, how much clutter there is, stuff like that. So, but stuff like this is really cool, fun, especially when you get to see others' ideas. I always love seeing other people's ideas and creativity, to be like, oh, I never thought about doing that with that product. You know what I mean? Like, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And then you start picking it up and stuff. So, I just think it's a cute little game that can easily catch you and cause you to play every single day, even if it's for 15-20 minutes. This is one of those games I can easily see just being jumping in and playing. That one, I don't think they gave a date. Just in that trailer too,
No.
it said available soon. And this was an older, I want to say this was an older trailer. Yeah, because
Yeah, that one was on my list as well, like one of my tier 2 ones that I liked. What's also cool about that one is it's published by Wholesome Games.
oh, really?
So after Wholesome Games created their first couple of directs, they started publishing games.
Mm-hmm.
So you can always look for Wholesome Games that they've published, and it'll give you a good idea of some things to play.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. All right, the next one, I fucking
Ambroise, Niflet, and the Gleaned Bell.
yeah, that I can't even fucking begin.
Yeah.
This caught my attention
Yeah, this one looks really
immediately. Immediately. Like, crazy. Like,
Stop motion, sign me up.
yeah, like anything like that, especially, I don't think everyone understands how hard it is to make a game like this. Like, you think a movie's hard, making a game is even harder, because you have to take into consideration, not everyone's going to do what you're supposed to do. You have to allow a window of failure in there. And so now you're doing a whole lot more for stop motion. Now, stop motion's already enough to do from what your plan is from beginning to end. Now you have to fill in these slots with, okay, well, the players are probably going to explore over here, so we have to make some animations for that. Like, that's insane. That's so much work, so much time. So stuff like this, I'll tend to buy, even if I don't want to play the game, just to support, because I'm like, that's awesome.
It's on Kickstarter right now, so you can support it without buying the game.
Yep. I was going to say, because it says it at the end of the video too. They talk about how
Yeah,
it's
I
on
was looking at their
Kickstarter.
Kickstarter, and I was like, hey, probably going to go back that.
Yeah, yeah.
But
But
they
it
also
looks so good.
described it as inspired by Professor Layton games
Oh,
from two
really?
games.
That's funny. I didn't realize that. I didn't catch that. Explore miniatures inspired. Yep.
Yeah, it's so cool.
Yeah, no. So I think this looks cool, and even the lighting on it, like there was like see the shine on his head, like it just
Yeah,
looks like they're
everything
popping
is
out the
just
screen.
beautiful.
Yeah, and then the characters they choose are obviously fantastic. All right. That's it for that. Then I have Let's Build a Dungeon, which I know there's been different versions of this because I want to say Let's Build a Dungeon has been around for a very long time in the PC world of things. But it looks like this might be a different version. But I might be thinking of Let's Build a Game instead of Let's Build an RPG. I think it might have been so, but I love this because this is a great introduction to get people into wanting to learn how to build a video game. And the thing I love about this is when you build this world, you actually get to watch people play it. So you can watch them in real time as they're playing through it and stuff. So you can adjust things as it goes along. So I think stuff like this really gets those creative juices going. And that's where we get these young programmers to get into this stuff so much earlier and then become these masterminds at making video games that in ways that we never thought. So I find that interesting. Um, Anything about this game specifically?
I don't know, just something about this game doesn't really do it for me.
Mm.
But
You
we'll
think it
have
could be
what it
the
does.
building?
I don't even know because I like building.
Mm.
I don't know.
I mean,
I
not the
don't know what it
building. What
was.
I'm saying, like because creating a game is a lot. Like
Yeah,
it's a lot. It's like if you're just trying to play the game, building a game is
yeah,
different. It's not like you're
yeah.
building a
Because you're also
world.
like managing like a game company, which yeah,
Yeah. It
takes a
seems
lot
like
of
a
time.
whole lot more stress. Let me see gameplay.
Well, you're looking for Monument 3, so maybe
3.
you're looking up the wrong thing. And it's not Monument Valley, it's just Monument.
It's just Monument.
Oh no, it is Monument Valley 3. Sorry,
Okay.
my bad.
Nope, it's okay. Yep, that's it.
Yeah.
Okay. Always loved games. This specific artwork, always a huge fan of. Always a huge fan of. I got into. I'm trying to think of the one that was like it was a person, but he kind of looked like a rooster because of the way his head was.
Journey.
What is it?
Journey.
No, Journey's different. But Journey was the style too. Yep, Journey was the style too. I'll say Journey because Journey's more recent. So Journey's a good one to use for this. Yeah, this is very Journey field, and I love that. Like the crazy worlds, the puzzles. I'm not super in love with puzzles, but I come from the world of the generation where Myst was created, and there's nothing more frustrating than playing a game of Myst because you have no fucking idea what you're supposed to be doing. And yet the world is so beautiful. This looks really cute because it seems like a very small version of that. And it's just like, okay, try to figure these little things out. It's just little brain teasers here and there, but I think visually this is so fun to look at.
Have you played the other Monument Valleys?
I have not.
Me neither.
Yeah, I have not. All right. Winterboro.
It looks so cute.
We'll do the one from this one. Self-explanatory. I don't really think I need to even talk about this one that much. I mean, look at how adorable it is.
Cute.
And then the cartoon animation, again,
Oh, love it.
so important. Like so different. I give them props. It looks like they really went above and beyond with this because you're not just trying to discover things, you're also fighting things. So I think that's super creative. I love the style of the dialogue boxes. I look at everything. Like I really do. I do when I play a game, I do just hop on and play it. Like I don't, but I also take it all in. And then when we're doing what we're doing here, like this, like I analyze a lot because I'm just like, oh, what are things that I like? What would I pick out as I'm playing? And I'd be like, that fire, like that, having the light and then you know, you seeing the spider coming, and then the spider running away, like because of the light, like that's awesome. Like that type of stuff
Yeah.
is really good. This kind of reminds me too of Don't Starve.
Mm.
And I
Yeah, I can see that.
love Don't Starve. I have a lot of game time in Don't Starve. So
Yeah, excited for that one. There's a demo out now if you want to try it.
noise. Noise. All right. Cut. Paste. Tales of the Shire. Game based in the Lord of the Rings world. You win me over as soon as you said Lord of the Rings. I'm all about it. I just thought it was cool. Pretty much a what is it? Farming sim, just in the world of Lord of the Rings. So I respect that.
Really just in Hobbitshire.
Yeah, not even Lord of the Rings, just as a hobbit.
Yeah.
That's it. Just as a hobbit,
But
which that's
so this game has been delayed a lot. Um and I don't know, I wasn't super impressed with the graphics in the trailer. Especially after all of those delays. So I'm
I
not sure.
I think it's the
I'm not
style
sure
they
what.
chose. I think it's intentional
Just
and it doesn't look good. It just doesn't work.
yeah,
Um
it just doesn't hit the mark.
Yeah. I mean, to me, I had it on my list because of the fact, I thought it looked okay. I didn't hate it. I thought it fit
Mhm.
for the mood that it needed to. So that's why it don't bother me. But I thought with this, there's always a lot of money behind anything that has a title like this.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to sit here and be like, yeah, every Lord of the Games, every Lord of the Rings games hit because it didn't. That would be an absolute lie. But I would say 95% of them have, and
Yeah.
that's because they do care about their content. So um, I'd be interested to see how far they go. Is it a
Yeah.
farming sim, or is it above and beyond a farming sim? So I'd like to see how advanced they got and see if it comes up with any new features that we might be able to incorporate more into our farming sim. So I'm very
Yeah, I
interested.
think it focuses a lot on cooking and like having like parties.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
we'll see.
All right. The next one I'm gonna do is the Guardian of Nature. And
This
this
one
looks
looks
like
so
it's gonna
good.
be an episodic game. So they're
It's the
talking.
you just clicked on the full episode. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is episode 1. So this game's out, right? This game's out now.
So yeah, they're calling it early access, but
Oh, okay.
basically like part one is out and it's
Mm-hmm.
gonna be 3 parts.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like you could play all of part one and then wait for part two, but I mean, I'd probably just buy it all at once.
Yep. Yep.
But the art style is just
Mind
amazing.
blowing.
I love it.
Yep, different. I haven't seen anything like this. This reminds me of the storybooks I greatly enjoyed when I was a kid. So, as soon as I seen it, I just attached to it. I love things of mythical kind of like mixed together, and I got such a Fern Gully type feel watching
Mhm.
it. And then a lot of the obviously Dr. Seuss books, like anything along those lines of children's books growing up, I just felt like it hit that, and like I felt like even some of the characters resembled some of those type of characters.
Yeah, it reminds me of like Over the Garden Wall
Hmm.
or Adventure Time.
Adventure
Like
Time.
one of those like Cartoon Network shows.
Yep, and
But
and
I love it.
that's why I loved Adventure Time too, is because of that art style that they chose to go with, and the creativity behind that is incredible. Like incredible. It just takes an extraordinary mind and taking a big risk to throw something out there that's so far right that you're like, a lot of people aren't going to get this, and then it become popular. That's got to be such an amazing feeling, like being such a bizarre way of writing things, and then all of a sudden everyone else is like, this is fantastic. You're like, my craziness is validated. It's okay. That's awesome. Cool. All right. The next one is Everdeep, or is Aura, right?
Aurora.
Aurora. Okay. Um, The reason why this stuck out to me is we've talked about this before. I love that people are still making 8-bit games. I love it. I love it. I love it because they're finding new ways to recreate something that already exists. And that's amazing. So they're just like, hey, there's still and this artwork is beautiful on an 8-bit scale. Like incredible. And the work that it takes to put behind something like this, to add all those pixels, even though there's only like 8-bit, like even the dice roll there, like that's hard to do on a programming level. So, and it just seems like they have so many interesting characters in this game, and the story, it caught my attention. So I was like, I'm really, really interested, and I bet you they're gonna do some crazy things, especially animation wise with it. I got a feeling there's gonna be a couple bosses you're gonna run into that it's gonna change the theme of the game, because they usually when you play games like that, that's what happened. All of a sudden, halfway through, it's like the game just changes. I love to see things like that, so I'm very interested. And I always love seeing the little beast, big beast kind of like style where they mix the sizes, because the big ones are always like representative of power. But usually they're the ones that are sometimes the weakest. So you get this little character that's the smallest character, ends up being the strongest out of all of them. So I've always been a magnet towards that type of animation in general, not even just in video games, but in like movies, cartoons, stuff like that. So,
Yeah, I think I like the art style, but I think the color palette is a little too like monochromatic.
hmm
Um, so I'm not like the biggest fan. I also don't do a lot of platformers, so I probably won't be picking this one up.
um, I grew up in the age of Game Boy, so yeah.
I know. You grew up before the age of Game Boy.
I mean, I grew up with the age of Game Boy. Um, all right, Milano's Odd Job Collection. So, why did I put this game on my list?
Good question.
The cartoon animation reminded me of 80s cartoons, like
Okay,
80s
yeah, but that
anime.
has nothing to do with the game.
And well, it's a part of the game, and especially the storytelling of it. Very in the games back in like Super Nintendo time were very similar to this. So again, I have that nostalgia when I see games from my past that should be outdated with graphics. When they remake it and they take it and don't just stick with the graphics, but figure out a way to improve it, to incorporate it with some of the newer times, I think that's pretty cool. Um, I put it on the list because I wanted to specifically talk about the game. I wouldn't buy this game. And the reason why I wouldn't buy this game is because of it's just not my style as far as for the world and what I would do. I wouldn't be motivated to keep playing because I wouldn't care about the story. But this is a game that I would watch somebody play. And I don't like watching people play video games. I would watch somebody play this because I would be interested to be like, what else happens in the game graphically? Like, what kind of bosses do you face if you have to face a boss? You know what I mean? Like, what kind of things you have to do, which is obviously you're not facing a boss in this, but you get what I'm saying. Like, I'd just be curious without have to playing it. But I like the wackiness because again, I'm in the anime. I like that type of weirdness, quirkiness. So that would be why I would love to watch this game, but I wouldn't purchase it. But these are my favorite guys. The Super Nintendo was my favorite era of video games. So much history to that for me. So, um, yeah, yeah, yeah. Anything you wanted to share on that?
Nope.
Okay. All right. That's the demo. We'll put trailer. All right. This country, county, this county,
Discounty.
this county.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like this county.
Yeah. Fucking Fields of Mystria.
This game looks so cute.
It's Field of Mystria. It's what it is.
I really don't see that. I mean, other than just kind of like the 8-bitty style, but really it's like it reminds me of the JoJo Mart
hmm
in Stardew Valley.
hmm
Um, and yeah, I really am interested in this game. It seems to have kind of like uh a dark secret edge to the town.
Yeah, like there's
Um,
something going on. There's more to
yeah.
it than what you see. I love that. Did you just see that? I love that.
Hmm.
Hold on, let me bring that back. So when he comes out of the room, all the walls come up to be like, okay, you're not in that room anymore. So like how they go with the room transitions, they just remove the
Yeah.
walls, but they make an animation for the walls. I think little shit like that. It just I always love that. Yeah, so that seems pretty cool. And it's for PlayStation. It's gonna be
I
other
think it's also on Steam.
yes, it is.
Steam Next Fest.
Yep.
It's a demo, so I think that's also on my list of games to play.
It still blows my mind that they still coming out with PS4 games.
Yeah, right?
That blows my mind. That blows my mind. Okay. So that's it for my list of games. So just to go through the complete list real quick. This is the complete list of games. I'll just do you want to roll some of them off?
Um, yeah, so
Hold on
other
a second. Let
ones.
me go back. Do you have the list up on your computer too? Because I don't know if that's hard to.
No, I'll just recognize them.
Okay.
So camper van is one that looks interesting, especially since you mentioned Make Room. It's like Make Room, but it's all just camper vans. It
Mm-hmm.
looks really cute.
Mm-hmm.
Cappy Castaway.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a little capybara photography game. Dosa Divas looks really good.
Mm-hmm. I wanted to put that on my list, but I was just like, oh, my list is so big.
I know it's like there's too many. Um, Instance looks good. It kind of reminds me of Unpacking,
Mm-hmm.
where it's like a game where like you're doing a task, but then like you kind of unfold the story as you're doing the little puzzles.
Mm-hmm.
Is the Seek Taken? Looks really interesting.
Leaf blower. I'm sorry. It's
No,
games like that.
no.
I'm not gonna say something bad. Games like that, to me, I try to stay away from because I will become addicted to it. Because like
Really?
Power Wash
Yeah.
Simulator,
I know
Lawnmower
exactly what that.
Simulator. it- because that's what those are like almost gotcha games, not in the sense of like what people would say gotcha for money. Like it gotcha where if you are a type of person that needs everything to be perfect all the time, you are just going to keep playing it and keep playing it and keep playing. Be
Yeah,
like, well, how hard can this get? So I just know myself
that's
better
like
not
for
to play
me.
those games, so I don't.
Llama Landia looks really cute.
Hmm.
You have like a little like llama sanctuary.
Hmm.
Uh, Out and About looks really good. It's all about like foraging and cooking. Outside the Blocks looked good. Pasta, a cozy cooking game, looked really cute. Squeak Ross, oh, of course, Sheba Sweet. I mean, I'm gonna have to try that one.
But they don't even look like Shibas; they look like bears, which is
Like
funny.
Shebas.
We'll
It
play
looks
the
like Shebas.
we'll play the trailer. Oh, it's kind of I don't know why it's doing that, but we'll do it this way.
Look at the little baby.
Yeah, I didn't realize. I must have missed that. I didn't realize they had a Shiba Suite. Was that through
That
their
one,
in their reel at the end?
yeah, that was
Oh,
in like the rapid fire section.
yeah, the reel.
So it was easy to miss. But look
Yeah,
how cute.
you didn't have this on your top list.
I didn't just because there didn't seem to be a lot to it. Like I'll probably pick it up,
You're
play it
gonna
for a
get
few
it.
hours, and then drop it.
So you're such a lie. You're gonna get it just because of the fact that it's Shiba's.
I said I was gonna get it. That's what I said. I would probably get it, play it for a couple hours, and then just never play it again.
I bet you get hooked onto it. You're gonna be
We'll
like, no,
see.
they're
I
just
hope I
so
do. I hope
adorable.
it's like a great little game.
Yeah, obviously you want that for all games too.
Yeah.
So you spend money, you want to be able to want to play it all the time. So that makes sense. That makes sense. So outside that, I think we pretty much went through all the games. Obviously we didn't go through all the titles. We stopped saying the titles after a little bit, but in general, um, that covered a good majority of them. I would say we hit probably maybe 75% of them, 80% of them. There was a few that were just not said, but I think all in all, the thing that I wanted to say about it was, this is their fifth year doing it, which you mentioned earlier. Um, they have in total showcased out of the 5 years 375 games, which good for them, especially such a small showcase. That's huge. They're helping us a portion, a community of the industry that can't get into the bigger ones because of the money. So that's good for them. They've raised over $200,000 in charity. I don't know what the time frame is that is. They just kind of threw that number out there. So I don't know if that's all 5 years or just recently. I don't know. They've had over 1 million wish listed games. So that's awesome. Well, games
Crazy.
wish listed. Just make sure
Yeah.
I say that correctly. Didn't have a million games when they only had 305 games. They've had a million wish lists total in
From
their
those
games.
games, yeah.
So, awesome. And hosted by the thing that I loved that I mentioned at the beginning was it being hosted by so many different streamers that do love this game. So what that does is it gives people like us who play and stream hope to be like, hey, if I keep playing my games recognize me. They know who we are because they show love. For example, thank you guys over at Pick Me for posting and giving us the comment on YouTube. I greatly appreciate that. Thank you so much. I think that's so cool. And they just updated us that you can soon be able to put ourselves digitally into the game as one of the people you would compete to get. So I think that's pretty cool. And then you can generate your AI any way you need for that. So I found that to be a pretty good thing. But all in all, I give this presentation an A. How do you want to do this? Do you want to give it a letter scale? Do you want to give it a number scale? How do you want to do this?
I don't care. I didn't realize that we were rating it, so whatever you want to do.
Well, then instead of giving it a rating, why don't we just say, if you liked it or not? So I just have a habit of giving it a score so that way people know how high up it is on it. But I greatly enjoyed it. I thought this was just awesome. I thought the feel for it was great. Everyone was amazing. There was no problems. Obviously, it's already pre-recorded, so it's tough not to. But I've seen some really bad ones in the past. So, and a lot of these people weren't pros in this. So for them to be able to do something like this that's being hit by so many views and be comfortable with it, good for you guys. And I would say 95% of these games are going to be hits. Very few of them are kind of like niche. That's going to be tough. But all in all, I think the presentation was one of the best ones from the weekend. It was this entire weekend. Every presentation was fire. So, but this one was definitely in my top. I really enjoyed it.
So I think this one, they kind of played it a little safer than they have in previous years. Um, the only reason I say that is because a lot of the games that showed up were games that were already on my radar, already have release dates, already are like in motion.
Mhm.
But I think that they're just kind of playing into like the instant gratification thing because
Mhm.
looking at 2024's Wholesome Direct, there are still a lot of games from that list that are listed as coming soon
Yeah.
or to be announced.
Yeah.
So I think that they didn't want to have as many games that were going to be up in the air for the foreseeable future,
Mhm. And
which I think makes sense. I mean, especially with the kind of clientele that they're marketing to indie games, it's a lot less concrete when they're going to come out.
mhm.
So it makes sense.
Yeah, dealing with a lot smaller teams, individuals like me and you that are just putting this together and happen to get some support, some love, kind of like, same thing goes with books. You know what I mean? You get these books that come out that aren't meant to hit the mainstream. Some come out and they come out blazing on all cylinders, and now they're hard to even consider AAA. But that's such a hard pull, especially now, more than ever, because you know anywhere you turn and step, you're stepping on a game
Yeah.
of every type. So there's so many. Everyone and their mother can make games now. It's not as niche as a thing as it was in the past, where it was just like you get a game come out, this is a big deal. Like you got backing, it is a lot to it. Now anyone can make a game. You just dedication. That's it. And you make a game, and unfortunately, sometimes you'll get some of those real weak ones fall up into the pile and kind of like, you know. But it's tough. It's tough making games. It costs a lot of money. You don't realize until you stop spending, and you're like, oh, and that's what causes these delays. Is the
Right, and I mean, it's expensive now to live as a person with like a full-time job that has like a regular paycheck.
Yep.
So,
Yeah.
props to all the developers that are doing this with all the economic uncertainty.
And now think too, right? They're making games for people. So for those games to make money, they have to sell it. But if everyone's in the same condition they are in, they can't even buy the game. And then you get stuck in this loop when, especially when you're the developer, you're trying to develop games for people so that it's affordable. But you're like, this idea is bigger than the budget. And that's ideally the issue, is when the idea
Yeah.
is bigger than the budget. And that's probably one of the hardest things to have to deal with. So but overall, you enjoyed it.
Yes.
Good. Good.
I would say the one thing, I'm kind of okay with the, um, like content creators doing the intros. I would rather have the developers do the intros, but I could see why they do the content creators. But then the content creators who were doing like a whispery ASMR thing, very weird. I did not like it.
So, I have a lot of things wrong with me. And one of those
Yeah.
things one of those things that's wrong with me is I do have a sensory kind of issue, and it's not like a medical thing. It's a me thing. And for some reason, hearing somebody talk in that voice, it actually hurts. Like it bothers me to a point where like I'll have to take my headphones off and then like rub my ears, because I feel like it's almost like hearing a fresh marker on a board. Like some people don't like hearing that noise, or an
Yeah,
old
yeah.
mark or whatever. Or I don't want to compare it to nails on a board, because nails on a chalkboard, that's a whole nother level. But um that just it's just weird. I don't know if it's more of even an uncomfortable thing. Like it gives me chills. Like please don't do that. Like that's not. But that is a thing for people. So, but it's just weird to me. I'm gonna do some research, like I told you. I'm gonna dig into some of these content creators that were there and be like, what do you do for content? Is that your content? Because if it's not your content, then I'm calling out bullshit. Like then why would you do it for this? Like you know what I
No,
mean?
I think it's like their whole shtick.
Yeah. Now, if it's the whole shtick, then all right, you stuck to who you were, and I commend you even more, because you didn't break out of it to just be like, "Hey, I'm going to do this presentation." It's just not for me. You know what I mean? It's just
No, it's not
it's
for me
not
either.
me. Um, I'm not gonna say don't do it at this level, because if the crowd is big enough and there's a big following to it, I don't want it not to be done because I don't like it. That's not fair to the ones that do like it. So having them be a part of that, I think, is cool for that community. So I find that to be a pretty big thing. So but man, it stressed me out watching it. Like I told you, like I could definitely go without that. So if there's anything that I could ask, is possibly have them show up some other way.
Yeah.
Because that was it was a little bit much for me, but um it didn't happen all the time. So
No, it
it
was like only a couple of
yeah, I
them
was gonna
that
say
were doing that.
I think literally two, maybe two or three.
Yeah.
Three the
There were
most.
like two, and then there was one that was like right on the edge where I'm like, is she trying to do this, or is she just very soft
So
spoken?
you did the same thing I did, and I went back and listened to it again. And I see her more as soft spoken, because she wasn't. You can tell when somebody's trying to whisper.
Yeah.
And it sounded like she was just soft spoken. Maybe somebody was sleeping next door and she didn't want to wake up.
I mean, she did have a cat sleeping next to her, so maybe
Yeah,
she didn't want to disturb the cat.
yeah. So, but all in all, though, impressed. I
Oh
think,
yeah.
oops, sorry. I think everyone did a great job. I liked it. I thought the games are good. The games looked fun. The games look great. It looks like they're in ready condition. Most of them seem like they're all ready to come out. Very rarely did there were some that didn't have a date, but
Mhm.
not much at all. So all in all, great performance. So very happy to see that one. The next one I'll have you on. You said that you had interest because you really enjoyed it. Was the women's gaming?
Oh yeah, the women-led games.
Yep.
That showcase was probably my favorite one out of all of them.
Yeah. I want to say I'm. I don't know if I got completely through. I think I got halfway through it. I can't remember. I think I finished it, but it was like a work thing, so it was like kind of just listening. So I have to go back and
Yeah, yeah,
actually
yeah.
listen. So,
Pay
but
attention.
there were some games on there that I was like, oh, like catching wind to. Didn't make my list for that, so we'll have to catch back up um
Yeah,
next week for that. I'd love to do that if you'd love to be a part of that. So.
sure.
And then there's more stuff that we can do too. I want to do Days of the Devs, because that was banger.
That was really good as well.
Days of the Devs is always fire. Always. They're so good at what they do. So
The
um
Southeast Asian games was also really good.
yeah. So outside of that, is there anything else you'd like to share? I'd like you to plug yourself, please. Plug yourself with what
Oh,
you're about to
yeah,
start
you can
doing.
come watch me this week. I'll be doing some Steam Next demos. I did Dragon Shelter the other day. I have a list of 30 games that I want to try to do demos of. Um, so I'll have a busy weekend.
That sounds like a fantastic weekend though. So,
Yeah,
um,
it's gonna rain. Just play video games all weekend. It'll be great.
so I don't know if you paid attention, but they said if it does in fact rain this Saturday, it is the 13th straight week that it's rained on a Saturday, and that will break a record for the most consecutive Saturdays that we use for rain. Such a useless fact, but I like spitting those out sometimes.
It looks like it's gonna happen.
Yeah,
So,
and this is New England. Anything can happen. It could
and
snow.
this Friday is Friday the 13th. So,
Ooh. And Josh yesterday that was on, he's getting a tattoo and he specifically chose the tattoo. Like, why would you do that? Why would you want to get a tattoo on the 13th of a Friday? Like, don't do that. Everything goes wrong. Why did it go wrong? When did you get your tattoo? On the 13th. That's your fault.
yeah, that's on you at that point.
Yeah, that's on you. But yeah, so that's it unless there was anything else you want to share.
No, no.
Awesome,
Thanks for having
awesome.
me.
So we were concerned that we weren't going to get through that. We got through that perfectly.
I know. Look at that.
So
Pro.
high five to you, big ups, good job, thank you. Always keeping us on track. I appreciate that. All right, so I'm going to stream again tomorrow. Tomorrow I'm going to have Ace, aka Andre, old friend of mine that used to be on PCG live with me. We're going to talk about the rest of the Summer Game Fest main show. There's a lot that he personally needs to, frustration wise, let out. Not in a bad sense on the Summer Game Fest. It's good sense. He's frustrated with a lot of the friends in his group that talk about gaming with him, and he's just like, I need to talk to my partner. You're the only one that understands me. So I'm just like, okay, I got you, man. I got you. So we're gonna have him on tomorrow. We're gonna go with the rest of that. Maybe Friday. If I do this stream Days of the Dev, I'll let you know. I'll give you a heads up. If you'd like to be a part of that, we can throw me and you in the mix. And then I know Josh said he's going to do a tattoo thing, so I won't have. So it might be just me and you, but I can see if anyone else will want to join too. But I'll let you know for sure.
Okay.
Sunday's a no stream day for me. Saturday's a busy day. So yeah, I think that's it. But we'll figure out our schedule. We'll share it with everybody, let everybody know. We'll go out here and we'll do another banging stream. Oh, we have to stream more pick me. So
Yes, we do.
because I think you were 1-3. You're
I
three and
think
one.
so. Yeah.
Yeah, we can't end out like that. So we're gonna have to do that again. No way I'm gonna go out on the bottom like that. I had the bitchy girl. That's who picked me. But all right, guys. Thank you, Kelsey, for joining our stream. I greatly appreciate it. We will again jump on sometime next week, maybe Monday, but we'll figure out. We'll see what the schedule says for us. So, thank you guys for joining the stream. Thank you everyone that was watching for watching. For anyone that is watching this pre-recorded, please don't forget to share, follow, subscribe, whatever you're on that you follow me on. I'm on Twitch and YouTube. Kelsey's on Twitch. Are you gonna start a YouTube so that way you can upload the?
Yeah, at some point.
We'll figure that out. All right, guys. On that note, thank you so much for joining. See you guys next time. Bye. Peace.